You know how in the movie The Lord of the Rings, they have one ring to rule them all? This is one RV that can do it all. You have incredible seating for movie night, a killer kitchen, and a buffet table that doubles as a desk. Let's get into it. The living area features dual opposing slides with a large sectional in one side and a buffet table or desk in the other. Along the back wall is the entertainment center, and the whole thing is covered with windows. This right here is probably the highlight of the entire floor plan for me, and that's the fact that you have this huge sectional sofa in this big slide out. Windows let in a ton of natural light, which, by the way, for 2025, they have done some big changes to those windows where you can see that they now have wood trim around it instead of like the big lambrequins on the side, and they have changed the windows themselves. So the windows are square now, and you will see on the bottom you have the screen, and it is in tracks, which honestly this works a lot better than your normal accordion blinds. And then on the other side you have the blackout. But the cool thing about the blackout is on the back side of that is actually a reflective surface, so it reflects the heat and keeps it out. And I'm telling you, this is a lot cooler than what you would expect. Then as we come down, we get back into the sectional sofa. See what that says? Lazy Boy Furniture. How often do you see residential furniture in an RV? Never. And now we have it, and it is so much more comfortable. Again, just a big sofa. On the one side is actually a pull-out sofa so that you have some additional sleeping space, and then you have two theater seats right here. Now, to be perfectly transparent, what I'm sitting on is not Lazy Boy, but I have sat in the other Montanas that have it, and I'm telling you, it is very plush. This is going to be Lazy Boy once they actually get production models. This one currently is still the prototype, so just know that when it comes, this configuration may change slightly, but it's still going to be extremely comfortable in everything that you're going to want. I am told, again, the basic shape is going to remain the same. Now across this whole back wall is the entertainment center. You can see the large fireplace down below, JBL sound system here in the center, speakers on both sides, and of course we have the 50-inch smart TV that can drop down and out of the way. Behind that, again, just a massive window, which if you have a much more beautiful site than we have, because we're at a show and there's an RV right there, if you have like lakefront or something like that, this is definitely a view you'll enjoy. Storage all the way across the top, which is something that Montana has always done very well, is give you great storage solutions. And for 2025, I think it is the best year yet for that. Then right over here, again, you want to talk about versatility. This is why I say it's one RV that does it all, right? I love this. You can sit here, you can have your morning cup of coffee, your breakfast, you get a view out to your campsite. This whole thing is beautiful views. Or during the day, if you want, you can use this as a workstation, right? You have electrical outlets on both sides. This makes an excellent desk. So if you're looking for a fifth wheel that can double as a mobile office, this one right here is an excellent choice. The kitchen features a large U-shaped countertop with multi-function sink, 18 cubic foot refrigerator, large pantry, and some innovative storage solutions. And when I say this one RV can do it all, I mean it. And a big part of that is the amazing kitchen. Look how much counter space you have in this thing. All solid surface, of course, multifunctional sink over to one side. This thing's great. It has a cutting board. You have an additional little tray here with a drain, vegetable rinser over to the side with the sprayer. You have a glass rinser, high-rise faucet that's pull out, plus a soap dispenser. This thing you can just do it all. Kind of over around to the side here, a couple other things. You will see that you have an electrical outlet, and a big part of the backsplash is a window, which I actually like because it really brightens up the kitchen space. 3-burner cooktop, and the oven underneath is very sizable. Plus, you have some additional storage for any kind of baking sheets. Now, underneath the rest of it here, you have some good storage space under here, as you can see. A large pull-out drawer. And underneath the sink, you even have enough space for a trash can. So they really did think of everything. And then above the cooktop is a nice big microwave with more storage. And then the fridge right next door is 18 cubic foot. This thing is huge. You can see how much space you have in here. Adjustable shelves, of course. The bottom is a big pull-out freezer compartment, and it has an ice maker in there. So you have great storage there, great cold storage, but I know you want a little bit more, which is why they give you a pantry for your dry storage. Cool thing about this, for 2025, they give you fully adjustable shelves on both sides of the pantry, and you have a little appliance garage here. Plus, this is an inverted outlet, so that way, you don't necessarily have to have shore power or a generator to, for example, run a toaster. Just bear in mind that that is going to be a pretty big draw. But you have storage space down below there too, and again, more storage space on this side, and all of this right up here is adjustable. However, one of the most innovative things in this kitchen is actually right up here. I think this was super smart. So a lot of times people can't reach this storage, so it just becomes unused or things you use very rarely. But what they have done is they've put this caddy up here that drops down just like so. This shelf has a 20-pound capacity. So yeah, you're not gonna wanna load it up with a ton of canned goods, but you can put a few in there, or boxes of cereal, things for s'mores. It just makes this space so much more usable on a daily basis. Now again, at 6 foot tall, it is, it's still a little bit of a reach. So if you're gonna be a little bit shorter, it might still be tough, but for me, it's definitely very grabbable. The locks on either side, it's actually interesting. The lock on the left holds up to 8 pounds, the lock on the right, 12. So, if it's less than 8 pounds, you can just use one lock, or again, less than 12, use this side, or if it's more than 12, you'll have to use both. Another big change for 2025 actually comes right here, and that's the fact that you put in floating steps. You still have the courtesy light, which is great, but because they're floating steps, they actually moved the central vac system right around to here. It still has the toe kick, just like you would want, but I'm glad that they kind of improved the look of the steps and still kept the central vac. Now here is going to be where the main control panel is in this floor plan. One thing I always like to point out with Montana is the fact that you have tank heaters straight from the factory. It's a fully insulated underbelly as well as valve bodies. You have the tank heater, so if you're looking to do cold weather camping, a Montana fifth wheel is always an excellent option. The bathroom features a one-piece shower with teak seat and shower tower, large vanity with great storage, porcelain bowl, and a linen closet. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the bathroom. There are a lot of things I really like here in the Montana. First of all, the fact they have a slider door rather than a door that opens normally, just because you don't have to kind of do the dance in the hallway. If you haven't owned a fifth wheel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The toilet itself is a porcelain bowl, which is fantastic. It's going to last longer. It'll stay looking nice, easier to clean. And as you can see, at 6 foot, 200 pounds, I have good space for my shoulders and plenty for my knees. Right over to the side, love this. Once again, a dedicated place for a trash can. Thank you, Montana. You also have super deep linen storage in this. I mean, that is huge linen storage. Probably could have used a shelf or two, but I guess you can just kind of put in some of your own creative storage solutions. Speaking of creative storage solutions, take a look at this. This is pretty neat. So this is for if you have like a hair dryer or curling iron or flat iron, something like that. You can put it in here because it's heat resistant. So that way you don't have to like set it down your countertops and have burn marks, things like that. I think that was actually super smart. You have a little bit of storage, mostly access to your plumbing, as well as your toilet paper holder mounted right back there. Also a drawer right down below. Plus, you have storage over to the side of the mirror, and your hand towel ring will be there. The shower in the Montana is a huge plus for me. I love the fact that it's one piece, so that way it greatly reduces any chance for leaks. Teak seat, that of course folds up if you don't want to use it. Then over to the side, you have the shower tower of power here with the nice big shower head, the hand wand, plus a few body sprays. So, you can mix and match and play with it and see what you like. As far as height, at 6 foot tall with that skylight, I have plenty of space. Without it, fold the seat up. You can see here, it is a little bit tighter. So, I can still clear it, but at 6'1", you're probably rubbing your head. But again, they have located the skylight in a good place, so chances are you'll be able to move around just fine. The bedroom features a slide-out king bed, large wardrobe across the nose with washer and dryer prep, and an angled TV at the foot of the bed. One of the coolest new features for 2025 in the bedroom of the Montana is this right up here. So before, you would have kind of two doors, and it was a little bit tough to be able to get into the wardrobe. Now, they have these kind of tri-slide doors on both sides to fully open up the wardrobe. So you kind of have, like two sides here, which I like, kind of gives you the natural division so you're not fighting over it. Plus you have this additional storage right here in the center, and it even has a laundry hamper. Then over to the side, on this side over here, is washer and dryer. Now, I did talk to the reps about it with this change, and they said even if you install the washer and dryer here, with this new setup, you're basically getting almost identical amount of hanging storage on this side. So it definitely is improved overall, and again, just gives you more access. Now, as for the bed, you'll notice this is, of course, is the king bed. You can get an optional queen if you want. I know a lot of people, myself included, sometimes have a hard time being able to walk around, especially on the far side there, to be able to make the bed. So again, maybe you do want a queen, but standard is a king, which is opposite what we normally see. You will also see that you have these little pop-up little nightstands. So if you want that, put a phone or something on there, you can. But again, in order to make it a little bit easier to make the bed, they fold down. Both sides of the slides have opening windows for cross ventilation, reading lights up top. And I really kind of like what they've done with the almost like accent wall headboard, right? They brought it all the way up, then they brought it up on top of the slide. And I think that's just a really nice look. Taking a quick look up top here, there are a few things I want to talk about with the AC system. One is that you have the second AC in here. You can get an actually optional third AC if you want. It'll just replace the vent fan in the kitchen. The thing I really do like about this, though, and I don't know if you can see up there, but this uses residential filters, right? That's one of those maintenance steps that so many people forget about, is to clean the filters or change the filters in the AC. With the residential one, it's literally just taking it out, putting a new one in. Super, super simple. Then at the foot of the bed, this is something else I like. One of those minor things that Montana does that I love, and that is that they angle the TV downward. It's kind of a pain to have a flat TV when you're laying in bed, especially like when it's higher like this. Sometimes viewing angles can be tough, but by angling it forward, it makes it nice and easy. It's a 32-inch TV, perfect for a bedroom this size. Window right underneath that, and then of course a dresser at the foot of the bed. All right, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the 2025 Keystone Montana 3531RE, starting off right up front with our fiberglass front cap. One of the things I really like that Montana does, it's pretty tough to see because we're really close in this environment, but they have what they call hitch vision right here. And what that does is give you a little bit extra visibility when you're backing up to hook up with your kingpin. It just lets you see your hitch in the bed of the truck, right? It just makes it a little bit easier. The kingpin itself is the Road Armor kingpin, which has a pivoting head on here, and that just makes it tow a little bit smoother when you're starting and stopping your RV. You don't get as much of that jerking feeling, and so that is definitely a big improvement to have, again, to help improve that towability. We have some other stuff on that as well. When we get to the tires, I'll show you, but just know that all that in conjunction works absolutely wonderfully. Taking a look inside this front compartment, you can see just how much storage you have, and more importantly, when I take a look over here, I love this because everything is organized. It's clean for what you have. I mean, everything has great cable management. You'll see right up top, you have your solar charge controller. This one comes standard with the 220, but if you want to upgrade that, there are some serious solar packages you can get on Montana, which is pretty awesome. You'll also see, this is something else that very few have, other manufacturers, and that is a solar panel disconnect, which honestly is pretty darn important when you don't want to have that solar constantly on and kicking the battery on and off and on and off and having all your components turn on and off. That is actually great. You'll also see the pure sine wave inverter in here. That is a 2,000 watt inverter. Now, because this one has a residential refrigerator, it comes with it, but there are 7 outlets inside that are inverter, that are tied into this inverter, so you're able to use those, including that one we saw in the pantry. You'll also see your distribution box right here, and that has a battery disconnect for the whole coach, so you don't have that drain. You also have tire pressure monitoring, which is a fantastic peace of mind to have. And right over here is going to be our hydraulic fluid as well as the lines. So yeah, that just tells you right away that not only are you going to have your hydraulic auto level, but this one also is going to have hydraulic slides, which are arguably going to be the best in the industry. So, and again, same thing with hydraulic auto level, right? Touch a button that levels out. That is a great feature. Coming around to the side, now this one is going to have your standard high gloss exterior, but if you so choose, you can upgrade to a full paint option. It actually will upgrade the fiberglass as well. And so if that's something you're looking for, they currently have 3 different colors. All 3 of them are pretty sharp. Right here is going to be one of your 2 30-pound propane tanks, the other, of course, on the other side. And, excuse me, as we look at the pass-through, you will see this one has slam latches. Now, This opens up with struts because we don't have a slide or anything up here. This is going to be one of the preferred ways of opening. That way the door just is going to be more out of the way. Montana does a few things really, really well when it comes to garage storage. One of them is they have the rubberized floor, so that way items aren't moving around and sliding around as you're going down the road. You will also see that they installed a central vac in here so that it makes it nice and easy to clean out. You'll notice, of course, electrical outlet as well as some TV connections. If you want TV, you can set up a TV in here. And I don't know if you noticed that, but this is also heated. So if it's cold out and you're running your furnace, it will actually heat your garage compartment so you don't have to, or I guess, there's less chance, right, depending on how cold it is, of things freezing up in here. LED light strip makes it nice and bright. And obviously this storage is huge because Montana utilizes drop frame construction. You can see that right there. There is a propane quick connect, so if you want to hook up like your favorite Blackstone or Coleman grill, you can do that nice and easy. You'll see the more ride step above steps. That first tread's going to be a little bit bigger, so you have a little more of a landing when you're coming out of the RV, but all of them are aluminum, so they're not going to rust. And you get the safety rail right here. So from that very first step all the way in, you have a little bit added control. This is great if you have weak knees or you just need that extra support. Taking a look up top, you can see the large power awning with LED light strip, speakers under that if you want to listen to some music while you're out here as well. Now, one of the big changes for 2025 is going to be right here. And you can see, right, it says the Gladiator axles with upgraded tires. Folks, these are 215/75 17.5-inch tires, and they are H-rated. You want to talk about a big load rating? I don't think any other fifth wheel currently in the industry has tires that are rated that high. So definitely a huge upgrade. They've heard people. They know that you want that extra peace of mind. And again, don't forget, it is prepped with that tire pressure monitoring system, so you can add that as well. Again, just for that little extra peace of mind. Right in between, there's also the Road Armor suspension. That's going to be a wet bolt shackle system, which gives you about 3 inches of additional travel in there. And so that way, when it's going down the road, that in conjunction with your Road Armor pin box make this just a super smooth ride. The windows on here are square frameless windows, which means they essentially tilt open, which is great because that way you can have them open during the rain and still get some airflow. I talked inside about how they have the reflective back, and you can see that right here, that when the shade is closed, it's going to reflect that sun and keep the heat out. And I'm telling you, I've felt it, and it works way better than honestly I expected. Come around to the back, you'll see that they still have a ladder. This is something that I really appreciate. So many manufacturers are going to just having a ladder prep, and then you have to buy the ladder separate. And sure, it's telescoping, but then you have to find a place to put it still. But by having it right here, I don't have to worry about that. I can just climb up onto the fully walkable roof for the maintenance that, you should be getting up there every year for anyway. Dropping down, I do want to show this. Now, this hitch is approved for towing, right? It's a 3,000-pound hitch, 300-pound tongue weight. You get the flat forward, so if you have like a trailer, boat, something like that, you can tow it. But as always, folks, this is a pretty decent size RV, so you just want to make sure that you're within state regulations because not every state allows you to tow something behind a fifth wheel, and most of them that do will have some kind of length restriction. Another thing I want to point out will actually be at the top of the slide, and that's the fact that you have slide toppers. That's going to be fantastic to help save the seals around your slide from any sticks, pine cones, or anything else that's going to fall on top of your slide. That way, when you pull the slide in, instead of those getting stuck in the seals, they're just going to fall off the slide topper, and you shouldn't have any issues. Coming around right here to the side, kind of on our utility side here is, of course, all of our utilities. So you'll see outside shower with hot and cold water access. Water heater bypass is built in, which is fantastic. You can see the winterization option right there as well, so you can pull antifreeze through the system. And as I mentioned earlier, you can see that your valve bodies are going to be insulated on this one, as are your low point drains. Another reason that this coach is so good for cold weather camping. Of course, our cable inlets and everything will be located right in there too. So if you're looking for a luxury mobile office or just a fifth wheel that can do it all, then the 3531RE is an excellent choice. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see ya.